Today on our Damian on Design segment, we are going to learn what it's like to work with an architect from the ground floor to design our dream home. Unfortunately, Damian, you have no idea what's in store for you because I don't think that my dream is the average person's dream out there.
You know, they're all different. There's never been the same dream in 25, 30 years of doing this, so bring it on.
All right. First of all, you need to know that this home was listed for $17 million in Longboat Key, Florida.
Okay.
It sold for $12 million last year. What I would like to do is create some of the amenities that that home has in it, obviously a much smaller scale. I really love quality, and I love a big space where family can gather, and I want a husband to be inside that home. Are you able to build that part of it into it?
We could probably add that to our services, I think. We tend to be a full service, so I suppose we could.
You said you were going to be poker faced. I knew I'd get you today. Damian Farrell is a local architect with Damian Farrell Design Group. You can go online to dfdgonline.com, and each week
I think we left. Sorry, you go ahead.
each week we talk about design here. We left what? Anyway, let's move to the house first. Let's get that. First of all, let's show our audience on YouTube what this house looks like. This house is right on the ocean. And it has columns and, how do you say, balustrades? Is that how you say that word?
Oh, I'd say lots of balconies.
Balconies?
Balconies.
Yes.
Balustrades are the the elements of those balconies, the vertical elements. Okay, so we're going to take, I should probably mention that the whole goal here is to take you through the process of designing you a home.
That's right.
As an illustration of how this process works. So this is a fresh challenge. So do you have any idea, what are you thinking about as far as where would you like to end up size-wise?
Well, that's interesting. As I get older, I used to want a massive house, like a 6,000 square foot house. I don't anymore. It's too hard to keep up. And I'm one of those people, I like to do my own work. I don't like to have someone else coming in and doing it for me.
Okay.
So that has gotten to be a bit much. And I have come to appreciate a 3,000 square foot house. Somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 square feet.
Okay. So today's challenge, or the following week's, few weeks challenge is 13,000 some square feet into 3?
Yeah, that's right. Precisely, Damian, precisely. The inside of the home has a double staircase, a winding staircase with two sides to it, and underneath the grand foyer where you're walking through in the beautiful area there.
Well, my immediate reaction, this is you. Really?
It is me, it is.
This is Lucia.
Here is looking from the top down of the top balcony down onto the entryway of the two staircases coming up to a main point in the upstairs area. You'll notice lots of columns, lots of marble, etc. So here's the kitchen again. White. The inside I love white because I think a house looks bigger when it's in white. My current home is quite white as well, carpeting, everything.
Well, also I think it contributes to the light, and I'm very big on natural light.
I love windows. I love big windows.
Yes. So natural light is a major component of what I'm seeing here.
So you get the idea.
I'm getting some idea.
Yeah.
This particular home has a fairly, I guess, Spanish hint.
It does. It's a little Mediterranean.
Is that?
Not necessarily.
It's not necessarily.
No,
so it's the detail that I'm looking at on these elevations and in these pictures that is what you're attracted to. So it's the windows.
It's the pool outside. I love water.
Okay.
Are these things
Does
you
it
need?
have to be in pool or in pond?
Oh, I love fountains.
Okay.
I'd like a pool to swim in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But the upkeep on that I don't like, so I don't know what the answer is to that. I've avoided homes with pools because of that.
Well, these days, actually, it's become very sophisticated, and even as far as going with saline pools, so that you're essentially swimming in a sort of an ocean, but it's much more diluted. But, so you can do pools these days without getting into chlorine and some of the heavy chemicals that we've used in the past, and the filtration systems are much better. The good thing about a pool too, especially, let's assume we're going to do this home for you in Ann Arbor, all right?
Okay.
And I was going to suggest that maybe what we should do is actually take the site that you live on right now as our fix, because I need to work within boundaries, pardon the pun.
Oh, I want a whole new site.
Oh, you want a whole new site?
I would like to have,
Okay, how many acres?
well, I'd like probably an acre and a half, 2 acres.
Oh, okay. All right, well then I've got an acre and a half for you.
Okay.
Out at Knight's Farm, meadow with a tree line.
Oh, lovely.
All right, so tree line on the north side, relatively flat. You have
Where's
views.
Knight's Farm?
It's where I live, off Lake Road.
Okay.
So even though that meadow is dedicated public space, we're going to make it your site for the purpose of...
Oh, they're going to love me in Ann Arbor.
So what I'm seeing here are traditional elements.
Very traditional,
Right.
yes.
So balconies, columns in the interior of these rooms. I'm seeing heavy trim. I'm seeing a lot of layers, as I like to call it. So the wall never just meets the ceiling without some transition.
Right.
It never meets the floor without some sort of transition as well. I can see fairly distinct baseboard, crown moldings.
I like cove ceilings.
Cove ceilings. This house is showing that. Tremendous light, which I'm a big fan of as well. I think if you can daylight your house in such a way that you don't have any lights on during the day, unless it's a very dark, overcast day, that would be a goal.
And I do love that, but there is I love that sense of mystery. I like one room. There's a room in here. Even though there's light in it, you'll see it's kind of a darker, almost a man's room with leather. And I like one area of the house to be that as a kind of escape where you don't have to think about the outside world either.
Okay, so what words would you use to create that mystery? How would that work for you? What goes
Darker
through your
elements,
mind?
cherry wood. Although I'm not a big fan of leather furniture, that comes to mind. Something that's just darker. It's not as light filled, perhaps, because maybe you want to have a little place where you can go and read with a lamp.
So this is more tucked away then? It's not obvious? This is more your place, your domain?
Yeah.
Because I know you have, your family is very active, and so you're looking at this house as, this is not, that's your refuge.
Family gathering place,
The main house is a family gathering place, but this is your refuge area within the house.
So you're learning how Damian talks to his clients when they come in, and he is designing a home for them on our Damian on Design on 1290 WLBY. Well,
what's showing up very quickly, and I'm not surprised, frankly, is the consistency of the images. So, I think, as I say, I'm not at all surprised with you. And there's a grandness to this, and there's a grandness to Lucianne. So this is perfect.
You're being nice. I can't wait to hear what he says when he goes home.
No,
you won't believe that house that woman wants to make.
No. Well, it'll just be a 10% fee on this 13,000 square foot. This is probably $300 a square foot, so we'll... Tell me, what is the dream for you? You've talked about gathering for the family. Mm-hmm. You've got your little space. What else are your needs, wants, desires, dreams for your own home?
I like rooms that flow into each other.
Okay.
I do not like small rooms.
Okay.
I like rooms that really work well and efficiently, even though I like this grandeur as well. You and I have had this conversation before just about how high countertops are or how high toilets are.
Yeah.
Don't like things low to the ground. And thinking about this whole notion of aging in place, making wide doorways, making it so it doesn't have to be retrofitted later in life would be important, because if I were to build a home, I would want to stay there. And I'm very attached to homes, and to my home and to my things. I'm not a person that moves every 2 years. Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be, this is the home.
Yes.
This is the home. Okay, that's great. And the things that you're attached to, are they significant pieces? Are they elements that are going to affect design, possibly, either by size, location, use? So
I would get new furniture, perhaps. Is that what you're asking?
No,
I have antique things. I have those kinds of things would play into it, but I'd make it all work.
Okay. So what I would like you to do is take some photographs of some of those elements that you would like to work, because those become very important. If they have to, I'd hate to end up with suddenly finding that there's not enough wall space for a particular piece that you're very attached to. So artwork, any of those things that are very important to you, must be a part of the programming and the thinking right now.
How interesting.
Right.